Hey Chris, how you going, mate?
Yeah, good, Ryan. Good. Good
Look,
to be
big
here.
thanks for joining us on our Facebook page for a bit of an interview, mate. I think that you've got a great story to tell, and you've done really well in a short period of time. So yeah, thanks very much. So how long have you been in the game now, mate?
Was it end of April 18? So yeah, two and a bit years.
Two and a bit. Okay, so
Yeah.
so reasonably new, and you know you came from mining background. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, history on the boats. So well, that's a long story, but charter boats, and then ultimately oil and gas. Yeah, tugboats.
And
So
how long were you working on oil and gas?
I don't know, probably about 9, 10 years.
Wow, so that's a long time. And fly in, fly out from Perth to the rigs.
Yeah, well, I was on the tugs, so at various country towns up and down the coast, and a bit of international stuff here and there. But yeah, always FIFO generally. Yeah,
And what were you doing? What was your specific role?
I was a crane operator, amongst other things,
Yeah.
and then we were. Oh, it was varied. We depending on the job, as the downturn kind of took on in the oil and gas field, we kind of had to diversify a little bit. So I found myself on a few different anchor handlers and
Okay.
barges, and then we're on a multi-cat over in Russia for 3 or 4 months, which was interesting. So yeah, pretty varied, but generally, yeah, generally the tugs and the multi-cats doing the anchors. Yeah, it was good.
Wow. And then real estate. So I mean, a massive change. I mean, you were never in sales before you came into real estate, right?
No,
Never done
no,
anything regarding sales.
no. Oh, a little bit of tourism, like diving and charters and that sort of thing. But yeah, not really. Not
Not really.
sales.
So why real estate? What brought you to the game?
Well, I was actually in Russia. I was sitting over there freezing my absolute rear off, and
Yeah.
yeah, just took over 3.5 months, and I thought I need to get out of here. I need to do something different with my life. It was just a moment, and then yeah, when I got back from that trip, I started looking, and it turned out that I had all the skills in the world in another industry, but when it came to the real world, so to speak, I didn't have any skills. I couldn't do anything. So long story short, I had a chat to stepmom who was, in real estate, and she kind of gave us a bit of an overview of what the industry was like and the market and that sort of thing. I thought, well, you know what? Well, I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to go away anymore. So, yeah,
Yeah, had enough.
that was essentially it. Yeah.
Now, walk us through that first year, mate, or that first year and a half that you were in the game. How did you go?
Oh, it's tough, Ron. I was pretty naive, but I mean, I suppose stepmom, she kind of said that it's a pretty terrible market at the moment in terms of how the cycle is, and you're going to get paid for a while. You're going to put a lot of sweat equity in, and I thought, okay, yeah, cool, no worries. Well, it's got to be better than freezing my rear off on a tug over the other side of the world. But yeah, it's tough. It was hard, but I think I was that naive. I didn't know any better. That I just kept on doing what I was doing, and ultimately I met you, and yeah, well, the rest is history, I suppose. Yeah.
And not that long history. So you came to one of my full day seminars or half day seminars, and realized that we possibly had something for you, and you've been with us ever since, right? So
Yeah.
coming on 2 years now, and we've coached you through, and you've had some really really tough times, and but it started to come good for you about 12 months ago, right?
Yeah, well, I think the compound effect just kicked in,
Okay.
and I think the seeds that I was sowing, and with your help, obviously they were good seeds, or better seeds than what I would have been if I didn't have guidance. That naturally just started to come to fruition, and I started to reap a little bit of the reward, and yeah, see a little bit of success, which was good. It was good. Yeah.
Now, you obviously making consistent sales. I think you sold nearly 15 properties in your second full year last year, which I thought was coming from working on tugs, fly in, fly out, and straight into a business that's really, really complicated, has a lot of variables, with no sales experience, doing it tough for the first year, and then the second year to nearly sell 15. I thought that was a massive achievement, mate, because it's just very, very rare to have done what you've done. So huge kudos to you. Huge congratulations. So how's your business going at the moment?
Yeah, it's a lot more streamlined. I mean, when we first met, I knew I had all the energy, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And with the systems that I'm still implementing now, I'm not going to lie. I mean, what are you, an expert after 10,000 hours? So work that out. But every month that goes on, the systems get more refined, and it just makes things a lot more streamlined, a lot easier to know where you're going and know what you're doing. And yeah, it's ticking along. It's a lot more consistent, I suppose, is probably the better word for it at the moment.
Yeah. So how did that, the Real Estate Brilliance program help you, through that first 2 years of your career?
Well, it just gave me guidance, because obviously you get onto Google and you have a look at all these bits and pieces. And I think I read a stat that 87%, or it might have been 78% of agents don't make it through the first year. I was like, well, I'm going to roll the dice here. I'm either in or I'm out. So that's what I did. I didn't want to be part of that percentage. So I thought I need to find someone that's going to, at least help me go in the right direction. And yeah, that's what I did.
And how many contacts have you got in your database already?
Oh, probably up around the 650.
Yes. And that's been organically grown, door knocking, sold invitations. You've done it the right way. You've built the business, digging good foundations, and now it's starting to pay off. So and the thing that was amazing as well was your first year you invested heavily. Did you make any money in your first year?
No, I was actually looking through it. And the tax man, he didn't get too much of an issue. I think it was like $9,400 or something like that was my income in the first year. And
wow,
yeah, I looked at that. I was like, oh, well, at least
you can only get better from there.
Oh, that's exactly right. I still had a roof over my head. I was a little bit skinnier, but yeah.
Maybe I should go and do it again, mate, to lose a bit of weight.
Yeah, well, as long as you keep that bank manager away is the main one. But I mean, I think that's the thing, right? Like, I always knew that I wasn't, like, I can't go from where I was to, killing it straight up. And I thought, well, the least I can do is give myself every chance. And you know what? If I can do it, I can do it. If I can't, well, then the boat's, well, it's a bit different now since then. But there's always going to be somewhere I can go and go back to that. Although I didn't really want to, so you roll the dice, and yeah, safe to say the second year was better, which was handy. I'll give you the tip.
Yeah, and you've had a great second year, and as you said, it's really cranking now, and where to from here? What's your goal? I think you set quite a big goal of what, 30 sales, or what are you looking to do in the next 12 months?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the 30. That's
30 sales. So, and you should breeze that in. So I think a good lesson just for the viewers here is that it doesn't happen overnight. You've got to invest. You're to do an apprentice in 12 months, if you throw everything at it, it's probably not that bad a time. Yes, you got to deal with no income. Yes, you got to friggin' put in some serious effort and time and sort of investment, but it's starting, it does come good, and then it just goes from there. So even if you can say, like, your second year, you've kind of made a bit of money, but from now on, it's gonna pay off for you. Would you agree with that?
Oh, spot on.
And then COVID hit. So talk to us about COVID. How's COVID affected you personally?
Well, it didn't. I mean, again, just naivety. I didn't really know much different. I mean, besides the fact that I couldn't door knock, and that was a pretty heavy part of my, not so much marketing, but my prospecting. Besides that, I had to find other ways to obviously get in contact with people and what have you, which, I mean, it's safe to say in WA, we weren't hit that bad in comparison to the rest of the world, let alone Australia, but, Australia, let alone the world. But, I suppose I didn't I didn't really know any different, Ryan. I just thought, okay, well, I had a couple of months there where things were starting to turn, and now we're just back to April 18 again. I just kept doing what I was doing, and I'm still doing the same things. Just the door knocking starting to come back a little bit now. But
so COVID, you're very fortunate because you came in at quite a difficult time. Even though you've done your apprenticeship and you're making regular listings and sales now, COVID hit, and it was just one of those distractions. It's one of those challenges. It was like the fires for the eastern staters. That was a total disruption. It was like global financial crisis for me in 2008, 2009. But there is no alternative. I mean, you've just got to pursue. You've got to move forward, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's just the mindset. I mean, if I had have come from, I don't know, you hear other stories of other agents and offices dropping 75% in sales and listings and revenues and all the sort of stuff and laying staff off and all the rest of it. And I mean, I'm one man, just doing what I'm doing. And I mean, I made $9,000 the first year, so it can only go so bad. I thought if I make more than that, then I'm in front. So, I mean, that's where my mindset was at, and just knowing that if I keep putting the rocks in place, then eventually we'll come out of it. And little things, just not watching the news or getting involved in all that, I think from a greater point of view, everything was happening, but for me personally, it kind of just got on with things.
So what would you say to people who are new to the industry, or perhaps only a few years in and it hasn't quite clicked yet? What advice would you give them?
Just keep doing it. Just keep doing. I mean, if you don't do anything, then you're not going to get anything out. But what I found was that when I first started those, it was only 2 months really. I found that I had all this stuff that I was meant to be doing, but I didn't really know. I was trying to do it all. And then what you educated me very quickly is like you shouldn't be doing it all at this stage. Just make sure you're doing X, Y, and Z, and do X, Y, and Z well, and then you can move on to the next, and then you can move on to the next. So I think it's just making sure that you've got your big rocks in place, and just making sure you do that really well, and then moving on to the next, and just don't stop. Just don't stop. I think that's the key. If you stop after you knock on the third door because you haven't got a response, then you never know. The fourth door might be gold. The fifth door might be even better than the fourth. It's just, but I don't think it's a skill set, obviously, but I think it's more of a mindset than anything. Just knowing, you know what, I'm working to a plan. Eventually it'll pay off because I'm not going to quit. So I don't think that's any really advice. I think that's just how it is, really.
No, you're spot on, mate. And I've loved coaching you because every time we've had a discussion or had a challenge, it's been a different step. So obviously one of the first ones was getting listings, and we worked really hard in building your multi-layered prospecting system. And then obviously once you started getting the inquiries, it was getting the listings, because you missed out on a few early on, and we really worked on your presentation and your closing strategies, and your scripts and dialogues. And then it was selling the damn things. You remember that? You came to me, you said, I've got 15 listings. I can't sell a bloody thing. What do we do? And we worked on how to use sales strategy, scripts, dialogues, vendor management, to get those knocked on the head. And obviously you got into a bit of a groove with that, and then had a run of sales, and that gave you the confidence. So the mindset, the persistence, the different challenges at different levels, using those challenges as an opportunity to learn a new skill set and mindset to be able to go to the next level. But you're always at a different level. There's always a different challenge. And I think the last time we had a conversation, which wasn't so long ago, was that you're too busy now. So one of the next challenges, or one of the next things for us to do, is to bring in some support or systemize better so that you can have better output. Do you agree with me on those?
Oh, spot on. On. It's and now it's just finding and using your time more effectively. But which is another it's another thing in itself. We come from, before real estate, however many years of month on, month off. You wake up at 4, you have breakfast at 5, you go to work at 6, you have smoke at 10, like everything's the same. And then all of a sudden you're in charge of your own show. And the diary, I mean, there's stuff all coming in, trying to work it all out. And I think learning the power of no as well. I think that's
Mm.
pretty important, which I know you've touched on as well. But no, it's good. I mean, you just roll with it. You roll with it, and I mean, at the end of the day, the key for me was to come home and family life and relationships and all that sort of thing. And I mean, yeah, that's where it's at. It's been a bit of a slog the first couple of years, just getting all the ducks in a row and working out which ducks I need and which ones are actually geese and going from there. But no, it's good. It's positive. It's good fun.
And now you're home. You've got a great partner and a lovely daughter, and life's good, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's just perspective, I suppose. It's
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you're loving life as a real estate agent rather than a fly in, fly out. What do you call it? A tug hand.
A tugger.
Tugger.
I think they still get called deckies, but
Deckies.
yeah, as much as you want to beef it up, you're still just a glorified deckhand. But no, I'm not going to lie. I still miss the water. And some days you sit there, it's like, wow. One of the boys will send you a photo, or you'll see an image or a video or something, and you're like, oh wow, how good would it be to be out there? But then, I don't know, you see the other side when they're getting absolutely smashed by the swell, and carrying on for a month at a time.
But you did it. 10 years was a good stint. I mean, if
oh yeah, I would. Yeah, exactly right. But I mean, real estate has its moments. I give you the tip. It's not all beer and Skittles, but
no.
yeah, and that's what I mean. Chatting to yourself, being able to say, concentrate on this or don't worry about that, do this. It's been gold, because if I didn't, then I dare say, well, I think I've got enough drive. I wouldn't have been part of that 78 or 80%, but I don't think I'd be in the position now and have the clarity I have now and be able to, do what I'm doing. So.
Well, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure to work with you the last 2 years, and I'm really enjoying working with you in the future. I know you've got some big goals, and I'm going to do my best to help you get there and achieve them. And look, I know you've had some other, challenges throughout your short period already, and you've managed to work through those and overcome that. And I just want to say huge congratulations, because a lot of people, mate, would have run for the hills when you got a few of those challenges and just gone, it's all too hard. But I just want to say well done for what you're doing, and you're reaping the rewards now. So congratulations, and thanks also for your time today, mate. Much appreciated. I know it's valuable.
No, not a problem. I really appreciate it, Ron. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Chris. Cheers, buddy.
No worries.